He was once the shining star of Jordan's royal family, handsome, heroic, and handpicked by a king. But today, Prince Hamzah is trapped behind palace walls, cut off from the world. What happened to the man who was destined to rule? This is the real story of betrayal, power, and a royal rivalry that shook an entire nation. It all starts in Jordan, a country known for its deserts, ancient ruins, and a monarchy that's usually as steady as a rock. Jordan's royal family, the Hashemites, have ruled for over a century, and they've got this reputation for keeping things calm in a pretty chaotic region. Enter Prince Hamzah, the charming, charismatic half-brother of King Abdullah II. This guy wasn't just any royal. He was the son of the beloved King Hussein and his American-born wife, Queen Noor. Hamzah was a star, educated at elite schools like Harrow and Sandhurst, a military man, and for a while, the crown prince. His dad even called him the delight of my eye. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, hold that thought. Back in 1999, when King Hussein passed away, the throne went to Abdullah, Hamzah's older half-brother. At the time, Hamzah was named Crown Prince, the next in line. But here's where the plot thickens. 5 years later, in 2004, Abdullah pulled a bombshell move. He stripped Hamzah of the Crown Prince title and gave it to his own son, Prince Hussein. Ouch. Imagine being told, hey, you're not the backup king anymore. That had to sting, especially for Hamzah's mom, Queen Noor, who had big dreams for her son. But Hamzah didn't make a fuss, at least not yet. Fast forward to 2021 and things get spicy. Jordan's usually a quiet player in the Middle East, but suddenly the headlines explode. Prince Hamzah under house arrest. Wait, what? The king's own brother? Yeah, it was like something out of a royal soap opera. Here's what went down. On April 3, 2021, Hamzah released a video that shook the kingdom. He claimed he was under house arrest, his security detail was gone, and his internet and phone lines were cut. In the video, he didn't hold back, accusing Jordan's leaders of corruption, incompetence, and silencing critics. He said, "No one can speak or express an opinion without being bullied, arrested, or threatened." Bold move, right? But he insisted he wasn't part of any conspiracy or coup. Still, the government wasn't buying it. The official story? King Abdullah's people said Hamzah was involved in a malicious plot to destabilize Jordan, maybe even with foreign backing. They arrested up to 18 people, including 2 big names, Bassem Awadallah, a former royal court chief, and Sharif Hassan bin Zaid, a minor royal. The government claimed Hamzah's meetings with tribal leaders and critics were stirring up trouble. In Jordan, tribal support is a big deal, and Hamzah's popularity was starting to look like a threat to Abdullah's grip on power. The king wasn't playing around. He even imposed a gag order to keep the media quiet. Talk about family drama going public. Now let's pause for a second. Why would Hamzah, a prince with a comfy life, risk it all? Some say it's because he was genuinely fed up. Jordan was struggling. Economic hardship, unemployment, and a bloated government weren't exactly winning hearts. Hamzah, with his resemblance to his father and his charm, was seen as a reformer by some, especially the tribes. Others think he was just too ambitious, maybe egged on by his mom, Queen Noor, who wasn't thrilled about her son losing the crown prince gig. Either way, this wasn't just a family spat, it was a crisis that had the world watching. So what happened next? A few days after the scandal broke, Hamzah signed a letter pledging loyalty to King Abdullah, saying he'd put Jordan's interests first. Some saw it as a forced apology, others as a way to cool things down. The king's uncle, Prince Hassan, mediated, and Abdullah said the sedition was nipped in the bud. Hamzah was allowed to stay in his palace, but under the king's care. Sounds cozy, but it was code for house arrest. And here's the kicker. 2 of the guys arrested, Awadallah and bin Zaid, got 15 years in prison, while Hamzah faced no formal charges. No trial, no public evidence, just a royal lockdown. But the story doesn't end there. In April 2022, Hamzah dropped another bombshell. He announced he was giving up his prince title altogether. In a letter posted on Twitter, he said his values didn't align with Jordan's modern methods. That's a polite way of saying, I'm done with this system. The king wasn't happy. Abdullah fired back, saying only he could strip titles and accused Hamzah of being erratic and delusional. Oof. In May 2022, Abdullah made it official. Hamzah was under house arrest, his communications and movements restricted. The king even formed a special council to justify it, though legally it's shaky ground. Jordan's constitution doesn't give the king power to detain anyone without a trial. So where's Prince Hamzah today? As of the latest updates in 2025, he's still under house arrest in Amman, living with his wife, Basma, and their 6 kids. He's cut off from the outside world. No public appearances, no social media, no contact beyond his immediate family. It's a far cry from the life of a prince who once commanded respect in Jordan's military and mingled with global elites. Some reports, like one from Dawn in April 2025, call it arbitrary detention, arguing it's a human rights violation. They say Hamzah's been denied a fair trial and the king's just flexing his power to silence a rival. Queen Noor's been vocal too, tweeting about her son's character assassination and demanding justice. What's it like for Hamzah now? Picture this: a man who trained at Sandhurst, served in the army, and was once a heartbeat away from the throne, now confined to his home. He's got no freedom to speak, no platform to share his side. His wife and kids are stuck in this limbo too. It's not a dungeon, sure. The king says Hamzah's living comfortably, but it's a gilded cage. And the bigger picture? Jordan's stability is on thin ice. The economy's still rough, and silencing a popular figure like Hamzah might backfire. Some Jordanians see him as a hero, a voice for the frustrated. Others think he crossed a line and got what was coming. So what's the takeaway? This isn't just a royal feud. It's a story about power, loyalty, and what happens when you challenge the status quo. Hamzah's life today is a stark reminder. Even princes aren't above the king's reach, but it also raises questions. Is he a rebel with a cause, or a prince caught in his own ambitions? And will Jordan's royal family ever heal this rift? One thing's for sure, this drama's far from over. So what do you think? Should Hamzah be free to speak, or did he push too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful royal stories that the world needs to hear. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed,